In this example, let's look at creating a custom runnable instead of a custom thread. Now, the most important piece about this happens to be in our signature. Now, notice if we create a simple runnable, we're going to implement the runnable interface. Notice we do not extend any other class because in Java, we're only allowed to extend from a single parent class. So by creating a custom thread, that's kind of an issue, and we get away from that issue by implementing a runnable. Now, there is a small change to it, however, and the change is this. Well, when we create an instance of our simple runnable, that's fine. We're going to create two runnables. We're going to have a simple runnable 1 and 2, but we're not able to run the runnable by itself. We have to have one additional step in order to run it. We still need a thread class. So we're actually going to create a new thread, and the constructor of that thread is going to take our runnable. Now we still have a thread at this point which wraps our runnable. Now, just like before, we actually will implement or execute the start method, not the run method. Again, remember, we don't want to call run, we want to call start, which starts this as a scheduler. Now, one thing to point out, and I'll scroll down to this example here, right? We're still doing a simple example where we're just calling the thread name and the number of the iteration on each thread that's running. So going back to this, let's run this and see what actually happens by this. So if we run the application, now notice, let's scroll up here and go. Let's scroll down here. There we go. Let's look at this. So of course, we still have threads, but they have a default name, thread-0 and thread-1. Those are the threads that are actually running. Or technically, remember, we're doing a runnable, but we did not actually call these runnables any name, so we got a default name. So something that can be used is an overridden constructor where we can actually do a name. We'll call this first runnable, right? We're just adding one other parameter to our constructor, and this allows us to add a name to the thread, which is this runnable. And it makes it a little easier to read by using this kind of name. So let's actually execute this and see what happens. Now we have a more friendly version of the names that are being printed out, first runnable and our second runnable accordingly.